KILR Killer Games.
Hello gamers, simmers, and pilots. I am the Killer Gamer and welcome to my world tour, where we're not doing big old hops across the United States or, from country to country. We're just casually going from, just a little airport hop to an airport hop, and not every single airport, but, we're exploring the areas, the states, and everything inside. So it's going to be a long, ambitious tour, but going to try to make this as fun as enjoyable as we can. But stop saying but. Not only are these flights, but I'm going to do a little bit of some tutorial and stuff too, to kind of show you a little bit as far as how I set these things up. And I thought we'd start this time, since I've got ProFlight 98 up on the picture that down below. I thought we'd go ahead and pull up ProFlight 98 and show you how we get an adventure started. So let's go ahead and do that. So here's ProFlight 98. And we've got our adventure here. So I've got my name, I've got my call sign. So whatever you put in here is what they're going to use. And then you have your departure time. Okay, so the departure time I put in as 15:30 or 3:30. And the reason why I did that, this is the time that we left off at, was 14:09. And I figure, okay.
Dubuque traffic. Zulu 620 is approaching from the south to do a touch and go. Dubuque.
I figure, instead of landing and then like taking off right away at the same time, I'd say, okay, if we were here, like how much time would we spend? 30 minutes, 15 minutes. So I kind of guesstimate on that. And so, because I don't want to sit there and just like have a whole lot of episodes in a day and a whole lot of episodes at night. So I wanted to give a little bit of realism. So we're going to say that, we're here at the airport for, in Dubuque for, roughly, over an hour. And so we go into town, get some food, or in some cases I'll, take a little bit of a nap, a virtual nap. Not going to do like 8-hour naps or something like that to where you don't see any night flight. And I don't want to set this up for system time, because if I set it up for system time, then it's not going to seem right. I want to be able to do it in flight time, in the actual Flight Simulator world. So it's its own world that we can play in, and the time can pretty much be consistent with that. And I'm trying to make it roughly the same between each of the simulators too. It won't be exact, but I'm trying to keep in mind that, okay, on this particular flight, the sun's beginning to go down, so I need to make sure the other simulators are kind of matching up to that. But going back to this, so we've got our time. So when we start the adventure, it's going to be 15:30. This here is where you select your aircraft. So this one here, I selected Cessna. And it's very important that you select the correct aircraft here. So that way, when it goes to calculate your rate of climb and your rate of descent and altitude and stuff, it can correctly use these figures to be able to calculate that. So I mean, if I sit there and I use, you know, a Concorde, the calculations are going to be different. If I try to use that on a Cessna, yeah, well, you know, that's not going to work out too well. But you can see here, one for a retractable gear and one for a regular 182S. You know, they're a little bit different. So, and I love my I like my retractable gears. And then here you can select, oh, are you Cessna? Are you flying, you know, a Baron, a Beechcraft, Bonanza, or maybe you're, you know, trying to simulate that you're flying an airliner or something. You know, so you've got all of these options here that you can use. Okay, so now we'll get that. There's also a checkbox here if you want to do heavy. So then we go to weather report. Now the weather generator is not too sophisticated. I don't think it gives you a whole lot of variety. But you select the season here, which will determine the temperature and stuff. And you can select the weather from where it is in your departure, weather for your destination, and how it's going to be in the middle. And you can check between clear, light, moderate, or severe. And when you do that, let's say we put light there. Let's say we put moderate here. Whoops. Let's say we put severe here. That's kind of a weird kind of combination, but anyway. So you select these. This is all that you can select. When you click Generate Weather, it fills in this stuff, you know, as far as your clouds and winds and all that other stuff. Now, if you click it again, you see it changes things. So you can just click here and click Generate, you know, until you get something that, you know, that you like. Turbulence, icing. I don't know if we mark severe. There we go. So we got severe all the way around, and you can see here we got some turbulence and moderate and light icing. So let's try moderate. So that does a little bit more here. Now you don't have to use the weather with ProFlight 98. If you go into the options right here, for one, you can choose how many voices that you want to use in here. Right now there are 7. It comes with 6 of them. Number 7 is mine. I recorded my voice. There's scripts that come with ProFlight 98 where you can record all the words that are used to put together in sentences. And so it's about 471 WAV files, all right? So I recorded my voice so that way, you know, we have a little bit of realism. You can hear my voice as I'm talking to ATC and stuff like that. And with this world tour, you know, I just wanted to take advantage of that and you know, really just take this simulator to a whole new level. So we've got that. Now you've got room for up to 15. I am going to be filling this up little by little. And keep in mind, it's 471 WAV files for each one. I'm going to use text-to-speech on these. So that way I can have a different variety of voices and some more variation on what's out there. And we got plenty of time, but you know, I don't want to procrastinate either. But we'll get there. And as far as the 471 WAV files, well, you know, you just take a little bit at a time. They have them divided. It's like they've got one with all the airlines, and then you got the one with your phonetics, you know, your Alpha Bravo Charlie, 1, 2, 3, 4, Niner, stuff like that. And just kind of take it, you know, a little bit at a time. If you got 471 WAV files, you could say, all right, I'll do 50 today, 50 tomorrow, you know, what, 50 times 5, 250. All right, well, that takes, you could do it that way and you'd be done maybe in a couple of weeks. You could say, all right, no, I'll do 100. I'll do 100 a day. Hey, in 4 days, you know, on your 5th day, you got them all done. So it's a lot, but just break them up into smaller parts, you know, and you know, eventually you'll get them done. And hey, you got a whole new voice to put in there. There was a time when microwings was still around. That was the that was an official flight group. Sad that they're not around anymore. I don't know what happened. I was a member of it. It was fun. But ProFlight 98, that was like the official support, where you get the official support. And they were inviting people to record their voices and script everything. And if they liked it, they would put it up on the site where you could download it. And there were voices that you could download. And if you check the Wayback Machine archive, you will see that. However, they're not there to download. You click on the link and it won't give you anything, unfortunately. Maybe on one of those snapshots of the website, maybe it's got it on one of those. I don't know. Some of the links are broken, but some stuff is up there that you can click on and you will be able to download a file. The patch for ProFlight 98 is one of them. I was able to get that patch, thankfully. And as a service to everyone, I went ahead and submitted that ProFlight 98 patch onto flightsim.com because I know it's a hard patch to find. I've seen some people post on the forums, I'm trying to get this patch. Is any, you know, where can I get it? Blah, blah, blah. So I went ahead and put that patch up on flightsim.com. I haven't checked to see if they accepted it. Hopefully they will. So that way, for those who want to get back into Flight Simulator 98 and play around with ProFlight 98, you've got that patch. And trust me, you want the patch. You're going to want the patch. Okay. So you got some other things here that you can check as far as how you want them to connect with you. This is what I wanted to show you in regards to weather. You can click this where it says use an external weather generator. So if you want, if you would prefer to use the weather that comes with Flight Simulator 98 and have it randomly generate, you know, as you're flying, you click on this, use external weather generator. Only problem is that the ATC isn't going to really know what the weather is. They're not going to know what the winds are or anything like that. So that's why it's in here. Also, if you've got Flight Director 98 or 99, which in the case I have both, but I can't find my disk for 98, so 99 it is. There's a module for that. Now I'll show you that here. There's a module for that where that ties into ProFlight 98, and you can put in real weather data, and as you're flying, the weather will change based on your location. And since there's a module for it, for this, I believe the ATC program will see the weather and will route you accordingly. Whereas with directly with Flight Simulator, I don't think it does. You can check this where it automatically places your aircraft at the departure airport. I like to uncheck this, especially if I'm traveling from airport to airport, because I want to save the plane where it's at and start up the adventure and not get moved to the runway or something. You know, I want to be able to start it up and not go anywhere. You can adjust chatter. You know, you got some fine tuning here that you can do. This is where you select your flight simulator folder. This is what you use for your adventure compiler. And this here, it comes with the APLC. I'm using APLC 32 because you need that in order to use RealATC, which is the chatter program, which is great. And I'm going to tell you this right now, APLC 32, it comes in a folder, and it has a batch file, a batch program to be able to put it together. I have not been able to get it to work on Windows 7, Windows XP. It gives an error and it won't do it. I was frustrated. I didn't think I was going to be able to do what I needed to do until I ran it on Windows 98. Worked just fine. So keep that in mind. If you really want to get the most out of Flight Simulator 98, you're going to need to play it on either a Windows 98 machine or play it in VMware. And in order to get the graphics, you're probably going to need VMware Workstation, which is what I got. So that way you can have the DirectX graphics and stuff like that. Otherwise, it probably won't look good. Then you've got chatter. So here you can change the probability of how quick you get chatter and stuff like that. So if you find you're getting a lot of chatter on one type of channel versus another, you can lower it and stuff. Then these are your modules. These are like plugins to help tie in one program with another. So module 1, I've got RealATC. I had to get this, I believe this was on Microwing's website. So I got this module so that way you can tie the two together. You would not be able to have them at the same time because they both work like adventures. You can't have more than one adventure at the same time. So what it does is it takes the data from the RealATC, combines it all into one adventure file, and that way one form of ATC is not stepping on the other form. So you'll have the chatter, and then if the ProFlight 98 ATC comes on, it stops the other one. You don't hear the two running over each other. And then module 2, I have Flight Director 98. This allows me to import my ProFlight 98 adventure file, tie it into real weather along with the GPS and the EFIS, and then from there I recompile the adventure and then pull it into Flight Simulator 98. And there's room for one more module, which I have not found really anything else that I can tie it in with. I don't know if FSTraffic has a module. It'd be nice, because the WAV files that come with that, it doesn't come with it, but if you record the WAV files for your own air traffic, at the moment it will play at the same time as the other stuff. If there's a module for it, it probably wouldn't. So I don't know how many things have had modules. I can maybe see. I'll take a look again at the Microwings website and see if I can find any other modules that might have been done, because that would be the place to look. And it probably would be beneficial to put that up on the flightsim.com website as well, so that way people have access to it. It's not like I'm uploading a program or something. You can't do anything with the module unless you have the actual program. In this case, you would need RealATC and ProFlight 98. For Flight Director 98, well, mine's 99, but it came with the module. RealATC didn't. I think someone actually created that. So that's it there for options. So I just went ahead and put clear back there. I don't think it's going to do anything because I've got the I've got this set for external weather. We'll just go through the other. Okay, the other options are going to show. So now we go to the flight planning. Now I've already got everything typed in here, but how you do it is you go in here and you type in the ID. Some of them have the K in front of it and some don't, just so you know. But it'll come up on the list, you select it, click return. You can also search by name too. If you want to do by name, you go over here, select name. You can type in the name of the airport. So it'll make that. And you put in your destination and you can put in your alternate, because you can declare an emergency, which we might do that during one of these flights. At the moment, I've been playing the simulator at 100% reliability. I'd like to change that a little bit, maybe make it 98 or 99%. So that way, if something goes wrong with the plane, we can request an alternate airport to go to. Okay, so now what we do, there's other things down here as well. As far as you're planning your flight, you can include NDBs, non-directional beacons, as part of your flight if you want to. You can include SID routes and star routes. Apparently those are in ProFlight 98. Whereas I think ProFlight 2000 and the ProFlight emulator, you have to like manually put that stuff in. So I just thought that was weird. There is a flight management computer that comes with ProFlight 98. I haven't used it, but you can write your flight plan to that. And then here you check if you want to have a VFR or an IFR plan. Now I unchecked this because we're going to be doing a VFR flight this time, and I'll explain. I'll tell you why when we get to that point. So here you go and just click Generate Flight, and here's all the waypoints. So it starts off, this is where your first waypoint's going to go. And then your top of climb will be here, top of descent, and then your destination airport. And then if you say, like with the Cessna, since we're doing a VFR flight, it's like VFR. Oh, fly at 10,000. No, I don't think so. You can go in here and you can click this and you can change it. Like I had changed mine to 3,000. You can just go in here and just change all this. And then when you're done, you have to go back here to the flight planner, but then you go over here to Adventures and you click Compile Adventure As. Then you just go ahead and save it, and then you go into your flight, select the adventure, and you're all ready to go. So the other things that you've got in here, I mentioned this in another episode as far as panels. They've got different panels that you can select. It's only these four. So there's a special panel you can select for the 737 or the Learjet, this Cessna retractable gear, which we're using, or the 182. And you can choose between the original, already enhanced for those, or the Cessna. You've got the original, a new modern panel, which is what we've been using, or an old broken panel, which is kind of funny. So what I was thinking, I just thought of this too. Yeah, when we're flying, and when I get to the point where we start trying the realism at a like 98, 99%, if something breaks down and we have to go to another airport, it might be a little funny to use the old broken panel, and we won't be able to get it fixed until we get to, like another airport or something. So I thought that might be fun. So same thing here. So that's it. Everything is already compiled. As far as that patch that I told you about for ProFlight 98, the reason why you really want that one is because you can save your flight plan. This option is not here if you don't patch it. And it really is nice to... I didn't make any... Oh, yes, I'm going to continue with no changes. So it's really nice to be able to save this. So that way you can just load it back in and maybe recompile a different adventure. So I found it very helpful to have that. You can also print your flight plan. I don't see why you'd want to print it. I mean, you can just drag it off here to the side. If you've got if you're playing full monitor, all right, well, I can see that. But if you've got yourself 2 monitors, use the clipping tool and just clip out, do a screenshot and clip it out and put it over in your other monitor and you're good to go. I'm not really much into printing stuff on paper. I go all digital. It's just easy to find stuff. But anyway, let's go ahead and compile. I'm going to go ahead and compile this, but I'm going to save it as a test. Just so you can see what happens. Flight service, Cessna 13 Foxtrot. I'd like to file the attached flight plan. So we'll listen to see what it says.
Cessna 13 Foxtrot flight service. Your flight plan has been filed. Contact ground on 121.85.
Okay, so it's telling me what I need to contact. Sometimes it's clearance, sometimes it's ground, sometimes it's like Unicom, but that part's important. Otherwise, you'll guess on what you have to connect. So there it is. That's all there is to it. So we're going to go ahead and drag this off the screen. I can still see it, so that way I've got my frequencies. These frequencies right here are very helpful. That's where I get most of the stuff. Departure and approach, this is wrong. It's putting the same frequency. It's not the same frequency. I've noticed that departure, they usually have it like 0.05 more than the approach. So like this is probably going to be 127.1. But you have to listen to what they say. So that way, you can write it down. But there you go. That is how you compile an adventure of ProFlight 98. And we'll go ahead and we'll load that up right now. So here we are. You got the lessons, challenges, and we're on adventures. So select that. All of these adventures right here, and this stuff, whoops, most of this stuff where you see like this airport to this airport, those are from RealATC. So there are adventure flights with full ATC control with voices and everything, and chatter and all that, that you can fly. And I haven't tried that, but we might try that on this series. Fly from one major airport to another and then fly back. And then you can also use like ATC chatter, and chatter only, random weather. I bought the RealATC to be used with Flight Simulator 5 because it didn't have any other type of ATC to go with it. So I thought this was a nice little thing to do for Flight Simulator 5. And then when I got the module for ProFlight 98, I started tying that into this, and oh my goodness. Oh, it makes it so much fun. It really livens things up. And the great thing about it is that I can customize it along with FSTraffic. I can customize it to a point where it's better than the modern flight simulators. Because the modern flight simulators, FSX, X-Plane, Prepared, the ATC is perfect. You know, all the voices, it just uses perfect terminology, perfect phrasing, all that other stuff. There's not really much room for customization, especially with the text-to-speech. However, with this, I can download RealATC from liveatc.net specific to the airports. It takes a little bit of work, but I can separate out those sound files, convert them, and then replace the WAV files that come with the RealATC expansion. I just call it an expansion, add-on, whatever you want to call it. And then that chatter will play along with ProFlight 98. Plus, if I do the my custom messages with FSTraffic, you get this nice sort of round variety going on there. And with the FSTraffic, with me using text-to-speech on those, I can really play around with it. You know, I can record exactly what I want. So if I want to get a little bit of loose with the air traffic control, like what you would normally hear, you know, on ATC, you know, ATC chat lines and stuff like that, I can. So that's why I've been having a blast with Flight Simulator 98. I mean, it's very, excuse me, it's very modular. You can really mod it and flex it around and stuff like that. So yeah, it's fun. All right, so let's go ahead and okay, this is all ProFlight. My goodness, I need to delete this stuff. Here's our test, ProFlight ATC test. That's the one that we generated. I'm not going to use that though. I've got one right now, which is Dubuque. Where is it? Well, I'm pretty sure I see. Oh, wait a minute. No, that's Waterloo to Dubuque. Okay, well, maybe I didn't. Okay, well, I guess I didn't. I thought I compiled it to start off with. Apparently I didn't. Well, guess what? I guess we'll use this then. So here it gives you an description. Dubuque to La Crosse. That's where we're going, by the way. It requires that your AC be capable aircraft. Be capable of flying up to 10,000 MSL. Any code generated by ProFlight 98 and version 98 and is copyright Robert McKay. And this is saying which compiler I used. So that's it. So we'll go ahead and select this. Let me just wait here. And hopefully it doesn't crash. Here it goes. Compiled by da-da-da-da-da. Please wait. Setting up adventure. Welcome to this ProFlight 98 generated adventure. So now you are all ready to go. And in the ProFlight 98 manual, there is a list of commands. You have to do Control Shift and then a number.
Unicom Pilotus 40369er, miles at 5,000 landing. Request field advisory.
And it's based on what you're connected to here. And in this case, with us having RealATC, the add-on for that, it's also going to be tied into this. So that's the cool thing about this. This is such a great pair. All right. So we're on Unicom. We don't want to be on Unicom. We'll switch that over. But let's first talk about where we're going to fly. And there we go. There is our trusty Flight Simulator 2 Sublogic map for the Commodore 64. Whoa. I hit something that was not what I wanted to hit. Okay. So here we are, Dubuque Municipal, and we are going here to La Crosse. Now I'm doing a VFR flight because all we're going to do is we're just going to follow this river, which I think is the Mississippi River. Because when I was looking up Dubuque, it was talking about, oh yeah, next to the Mississippi River, blah 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 blah. So that's why I'm saying I believe this is the Mississippi. But yeah, I mean the airport's right here, you know, along the river. So why not do a VFR flight? So the waypoints, I ain't gonna use them. I don't need no stinking flight following. But I do like to have the air traffic to be able to, you know, do that little communication thing and be guided in and all that other stuff. But yeah, so that's it. We will go ahead and set up. We don't need to set up Dubuque. We'll set up La Crosse. So that way we've got our distance, so we know how far it is. But we'll also set the walk-on, and
Cherokee 69er November 5 miles east at 5,000 landing. Request field advisory.
we'll set a 090 radial on it, and that way when the needle centers, we'll know we're halfway, you know, more than halfway there. So that's kind of like a navigational thing. But that's it. So let's get our radio set. I'm not using Flight Director. Taking a little bit of break of that on that. We don't really need the GPS or the EFIS. Let's see. That is comms. La Crosse is 108.4. Hopefully that hasn't changed. Walk-on 116.6. And we'll set that to 9. Whoa! Hey, stop moving. So, there we go. 9. And I think we'll keep there should be a runway 36, so we'll just keep this right where it's at. And that's it. We should be good to go. Let's turn on our lights. It told us we needed to contact ground, so let's go ahead and do that. There we go. Now we go ahead and we contact them. And that apparently was not the right. Oh, 121.85. That's what we need. Ground, Cessna, 13 Foxtrot. On the ramp, VFR with information. Oscar, ready to taxi.
Cessna, 13 Foxtrot, taxi to runway 36.
Roger, taxi 236 Cessna, 13 Foxtrot. Okay. Now we can do a few other things with ground. We can request an altimeter setting. Ground, Cessna, 13 Foxtrot. Request altimeter setting.
Cessna, 13 Foxtrot. Altimeter is 2991.
I don't understand the 2991. Like, how does that translate to this? I don't know. I don't think I'd want to set this to 2991 because this is correct.
Roger 2991 Southwest 991.
We can request a radio check too. I guess that's just for fun. I mean, it doesn't really have any effect on your flight. Ground, Cessna, 13 Foxtrot. Radio check.
Cessna, 13 Foxtrot. Loud and clear.
That's cool. That's the first time I heard that. Sometimes it's like transmission scratchy.
Eastern 553, radio check.
Eastern 553, transmission scratchy.
See? It's like,
Roger, Eastern 553.
it doesn't sound scratchy to me. But that's okay. I mean, it's just in there just for fun. You don't have to use it. So we're in a hangar right now. We're gonna use slew mode to simulate a pushback. You don't hear your engine, but I mean, this is a next best thing. Boom! You're probably wondering, what in the world was that? This thing has an automatic door. These objects are from the... We just go right through the gas there. They are from the Bayo Aircraft and Scenery Designer. Let me just get out of...
619er, taxi to terminal.
Roger, Stewart 619er.
So little trees and everything. I put this together. I'm putting together, you know, a little bit of stuff at these airports to give it a little extra touch. You know what? And that plane's waiting for me to move. And that's from FSTraffic too. When I recorded that plane, or that category of plane, I recorded for him coming in and getting fuel. Now it's somewhat smart where if there's something in its way, it will stop and wait for it to go out of the way.
Inside the white lines, please.
Yeah, we're turning left right now, TWA 730, and just to verify pad 2, that's not where United's sitting?
That's correct.
That is from the RealATC. Whoa. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, let's try that again. Although I have crash on, I turned crash off when it comes to dynamic scenery. Maybe that doesn't count for buildings and stuff. I don't know. Do our pushback. Whoops. Well, I think that is definitely far enough. Turn this back on again.
UPS 424 with information Oscar.
UPS 424, where are you parked?
UPS 424, sorry, at the terminal with information Oscar.
UPS 424, taxi to runway and hold.
Roger, UPS 424.
Traffic, Sears 512, Charlie Papa. Momentary back taxi on runway 17. We will be departing 17 with the glider and side jet.
On Thunder 695, give way to TWA and then taxi in. Okay, give way to TWA, taxi 695.
Hey, we can follow this plane. I wanted to add a little bit more to these airports. Where's he going? Should I be following him?
Traffic, Sears 512, Charlie Papa, taxi from Threshold.
Because otherwise, you just got these flat airports and there's nothing at them, and I wanted something more. Well, let's take a look at our map here. I should have turned around. Alright. I should have taken that way. We'll turn around here. I'm not trying to do a whole lot with the buildings. You know, I'm just trying to put some simple stuff down so that way, you know, the airport doesn't look completely boring.
Ground control, TWA 427, request altimeter setting.
And I'll look at the
Transworld 427, altimeter is 29er.
airport on Google Maps.
Roger, 29er1,
And
TWA 427.
try to put some buildings that, you know, I try to interpret what's there and do the best that I can to, without, you know, spending forever, you know, putting the, because I want to fly. I don't want to sit here and just make scenery all the time. And I pretty much skimmed all the way through the manual for the airport and scenery designer, so I think I'll be able to get
Ground control, Cafe 780,
some better looking airports.
Taxi to terminal.
Cafe 780, taxi to terminal.
Roger, Cafe 780.
Yeah, there's a plane coming in there. See, and I think it's waiting.
95, give way to TWA and then taxi in. Okay, give way to TWA taxi.
So even though I didn't record it to wait, the AI says, oh, something is coming, and it pauses the macro, basically, is what this is. Well, I think he waited. Maybe he didn't. Apparently not. No, he just took off. Okay.
Traffic, Mentor 489. Charlie is left crosswind from 18. Passenger 1.3 for 2000.
Okay, let's tune in the tower. 119.55. Blah 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 blah. There we go. And we're gonna request, or basically check in
Cherokee 4542 Foxtrot, holding short, runway 31 right.
for takeoff.
4542 Foxtrot Tower. White down departure approved, runway 31 right, cleared for immediate takeoff. Traffic, the Dutch is approaching quarter mile. Roger, confirm, cleared for immediate takeoff. 42 Foxtrot, affirmative, immediate takeoff, runway 31 right. 42 Foxtrot rolling.
Tower, Qantas 279er at 5,000, squawking 3003 with information Oscar.
Qantas 279er, inner right, downwind.
Tower, Cessna 13 Foxtrot, ready for takeoff with northwest departure.
Cessna 13 Foxtrot, cleared for takeoff, northwest departure approved.
Roger, cleared for takeoff. Cessna 13 Foxtrot. All right.
Tower, Learjet 114, Whiskey Charlie is on the visual 25 left. Learjet 114, Whiskey Charlie, Tower, traffic MD-80, short final, runway 25 left, clear to land, wind 350 at 5. Okay, we're clear to land on 25 left, Learjet 4, Whiskey Charlie.
Traffic, Legacy Jet is 20 miles to the southwest, inbound for landing. Looking for any traffic in the area, please advise.
Aeroflot 19er, contact departure on 127.1.
And we'll say goodbye to Dubuque.
7.1, Aeroflot 901,
Yeah, Sundance 104 is checking in as we come up on the high rise, 28 right. Sundance 104.050 at 5, runway 28 right, clear to land. 28 right, clear to land, Sundance 104.
Learjet 300 Alpha November, over. Yep, the weather seems to have gone down there. We think we can make it in, but if we don't, we were wondering if you could, if you periscope miss, to send out the, we've got a car there, or car service, if they could just come to Bergstrom, that'd be great. Okay, yeah. The weather, according to the AWOS there, has gone down right at minimum.
Like I said,
164, runway 1 right, cleared for
the ATC programs are too perfect.
Cessna 658, did you see the Cessna you were following earlier in the pattern? What's the 658 tower?
658.
In your previous pattern, did you see the traffic you were following earlier on the downwind?
I did, I acknowledge.
Okay, why'd you turn inside them?
I'm sorry, sir, I did not know that.
So some of those are generic that came with RealATC.
Foxtrot, contact departure on 127.1.
See, 127.1. Some of those wave files I picked up from ex-ATC chatter for X-Plane, which are based off of live ATC, but they pull out some specific information like the airport and stuff like that. Oh, there goes the ground. It's all like sinking.
Departure Cessna 13 Foxtrot 23 miles from Charlie Alpha Sierra Sierra Yankee to the southeast at 2,500 VFR. Request flight following.
Roger, Cessna 13 Foxtrot, Squawk 5507.
Departure NASA 906 with you, passing 3,700 for 17,000. NASA 906, Roger, radar contact.
Cessna 13 Foxtrot, radar contact.
216. Navy 216, Roger, contact. Roger 124.905.
2495.
So why is this all muddy? It's like muddy and polluted.
NASA 916, thanks for the tight turn, that traffic's no factor. Additional traffic 12 o'clock and 14 miles northbound, a C9, level at 15,000. 906. NASA 906, high maintain 14,000. 906, up to 14,000.
And that is pretty much it. We'll just be following the river now. This ucky brown river. It's blue over here. It's blue there.
Seneca 6, Juliet Golf, stay requested on course heading.
Okay, done. Departure.
Seneca 6, Juliet Golf, flight requested altitude 10,500 and stay requested on course heading.
Course heading is 211.
Your on course heading is 211. Roger.
The pilot's choice. Munchies. Mountain Dew. We're set, man. We got our plane, we got our flight, we got our autopilot. We are good. This looks awfully weird here. I'm going to set my heading bug here. Now these clouds are FS clouds. This is another thing to where if you don't install it on Windows 98, it's going to look all messed up. It won't install properly. It's like you can copy the textures over, but
NASA 906, Roger, radar contact.
it doesn't use it properly or something. It's weird. And I think the reason for that is because these were made during the 16-bit operating system cycle. So with XP being 32-bit, it just didn't work right. And 64-bit, I can get Flight Simulator 98 to work on 64-bit. However, and my early videos on this world tour will show it, when you're sitting there switching around, you know, like this, what winds up happening, all the textures disappear. The ground, all the textures disappear. It's all gone.
Departure, Piper, Niner, 15, Papa, level.
And you're like, well, crap.
500.
Piper, Niner, 15, Papa, Roger.
Sometimes I would land, look at something, boom. They're all gone, you know. I guess in this world, the Mississippi River is polluted. Maybe it's because it's the fall season that I'm using. I don't know. This is a nice sized river, though. I mean, I know it is normally, but I mean, just compared to when I was flying this on the Commodore 64, the Amiga, and Flight Simulator 5.1, this is getting better. I can't wait to see what this looks like as we're progressing through the other simulators, 2000, 2002, 2004, and FSX, which I've given the Orbix treatment to it. So, and I've got the whole thing. I've got the base. You have to have the base installed to do anything else. I got the base. I've got land class, and I got the vectors. The vectors are for like roads and coastlines and rivers and stuff like that. So it'll be real interesting to see how this looks with the Orbix scenery.
Navy 216, Roger. Contact to 124.905.
2495.
And then there's X-Plane, which I'm using the orthophoto scenery.
NASA 906, Roger, radar contact.
Hey, we got an airport down there. I have no idea which one, because it's not on our Commodore 64 map. It's on a map. Let's find out.
Navy 216, Roger. Contact to 124.905.
2495.
Huh. This is kind of interesting, but hold on. Let me show you something.
Seneca 6, Juliet Golf, stay requested on course heading.
Okay, guns, departure.
Seneca 6,
Maybe the Mississippi really is brown.
500 and stay requested on course heading.
Course heading is 211.
Your on course heading is 211. Roger.
Is it this? Is it Glen Haven? Well, I don't see an airport there. Bagley, maybe? Not sure.
Cessna 13 Foxtrot. Radar service terminated. Squawk 1200.
There's
Suggest
La
you
Crosse.
contact Chicago Center on 121.5 for flight following service. Frequency change approved.
Okay, well, that was different. Okay. You didn't see me changing the radio or anything, because I got this map, like, in front of our view.
Chicago Center, Cessna 13 Foxtrot, 3 miles from Charlie, Alpha, Sierra, Sierra, Yankee, to the southeast at 3000. VFR, request flight following.
Roger, Cessna 13 Foxtrot, squawk 3052.
30...
Citation 220, climb to 15,000.
52.
Watching traffic westbound.
American 2143, defend and maintain 7,000. Continue to hold at the marker.
Roger, Cessna 13 Foxtrot, radar contact.
I'm going to turn that off. This is kind of a neat view right here. Meanwhile, let's pull up. Let's pull out something that we didn't have, as far as I know. Oh, hold on here. There it is. Back during 98 and early Flight Simulator days, I actually had to get a series of VFR and IFR versions of this, and that is that. So, okay, here's Dubuque, and maybe that was Prairie du Chien Municipal. I don't know. No, here it is. Here's Cassie. This is what we're flying to. So it must be Cassville Municipal. We just passed it. Okay, so we're... Yeah, I guess we are going that way. There's La Crosse.
United 337 Heavy. Prepare for handoff to approach when you reach 3000.
Celsius 637, I think it's taken care of. Approach control says they can figure it out. Okay, no problem.
Okay, no problem.
UPS 753, connect Rockford's approach 121.0. We'll see ya.
That's real I should say that's the live ATC. That's the real deal there. That's from Chicago Center. So nothing generic on that one.
US Air 3351, expect vectors around the storm cell.
Southwest 293, contact Chicago's approach 128.2. Okay.
Scandinavian 836, Chicago Center, squawk 6401, and ident, verify altitude.
Scandinavian 836, squawking 6401, level at 16,000.
Delta 447, squawk 2531, expect radar check. Delta 447, squawk 2531, expect radar check.
GPS 785, now clear direct Rockford and cross 5 miles southwest of Rockford. Head and maintain 13,000. Rockford's altimeter 2977.
American 2143, descend and maintain 7,000. Continue to hold at the marker.
United 1800, Chicago Center, clear direct Banky, descend and maintain flight level 330.
Care Flight 1, you're cleared for visual approach.
UPS 1387, Chicago.
Well, we got 32 miles to go.
UPS 1387, Chicago Center, cross 50 miles south of Rockford. Head and maintain 1,000. Rockford's altimeter 2977.
United 443, increase speed to 240.
Yeah, 1800, descend and maintain flight level 25 0. Watch airplane 1282, Chicago Center, roger.
Delta 447, squawk 2531, effect radar check.
Southwest 293, contact Chicago's approach 128.2. Okay.
This looks weird. Muddy waters here, and then you got this nice blue river here, forking off there. I know it's not much to look at, but
Falcon 173 Lima, Chicago Center, squawk 5721 and ident, verify altitude.
like I said, I like to be able to
Falcon
compare it with the other simulators.
5721, level at flight level 220.
And people have...
13 Foxtrot, check position, we show you to be about 6 miles off the airway.
I'm just fine, dude, man. I'm going VFR. I'm following the river. I'll be good.
TWA 3882, you're cleared for 18,000, reduce speed to 180.
Skyline 2 Victor Papa, cleared to Aurora Airport via present position, direct Piatone, Juliet, direct, maintain 8,000.
US Air 3351, expect vectors around the storm cell.
Name's 814, contact February approach 128.72.
Too much stocking! So I know there have been videos of comparing the different flight simulators, but nothing like this.
United 3168 Heavy, reduce speed to 210.
I mean,
maintain flight level 180.
we're actually doing a tour, and you'll be able to compare how it all looks on all of them.
Climb to 15,000. Watch for traffic westbound.
Hello, 637 Chicago Center. You are cleared direct to Midway. And descend at pilot's discretion, maintain 6,000. To Midway altimeter 2979er. Command is a little late top.
Care Flight 1, you're cleared for visual approach.
Name's 814, contact February approach 128.72.
Champagne approach 901, kilo 6,000.
TWA 3882, say again.
Care Flight 1, you're cleared for visual approach.
American 2143,
TWA.
7,000, continue to hold at the mark.
Name's 814, contact February approach 128.72.
Champagne approach 901, kilo 6,000.
American 267, heavy climb to flight level 340, traffic eastbound at flight level 320.
You know what I hate about these munchies? You get stuff all over your fingers. And then you get it on other stuff and you can't get it off and all that stuff. All right. Man, what do we talk about here?
Yankee Cargo 662, you're cleared for 12,000.
That's 850 Chicago Center. Descend at pilot's discretion, maintain 6,000. The Midway altimeter 2979er.
United 449, reduce speed to 190, contact approach.
I used this on another flight. Why do cowboys wear high heels?
Cessna 13 Foxtrot, check position, we show you to be about 8 miles off the airway.
American Eagle 2190, turn right for downwind.
I'm good, man.
Skyline 2 Victor Papa, cleared to Aurora Airport via present position, direct Piatone, Juliet, direct, maintain 8,000.
Citation 220, turn heading 320, maintain 16,000.
Skyline 2 Victor Papa, read that correct, maintain 8,000.
Citation 220, climb to 15,000. Watch for traffic westbound.
Too much noise. Alright, so why do we call it Rhode Island when it isn't one? There are two possible reasons. Apparently we got ATIS. I didn't realize that. When explorer Giovanni di Verrazzano was mapping the east coast of North America in 1524, he noted in his diary that the coastline of Narragansett Bay was approximately as long as that of the Greek island of Rhodes. Subsequent explorers took it to mean that the area was in fact an island, and they thus called it Rhode Island. It's an attractive theory, but so is this one, that Dutch explorer Adrian Block, for whom Block Island is named the area Red Island because of the color of the soil. In Dutch, that's Root Island, which became the name we use today. Alright, so here's another one. Why is the life of Riley so terrific? The life of Riley is a life of easy days and carefree nights. It's an odd expression because the real Mr. Riley was anything but lazy. Riley was a poet, James Whitcomb Riley, who wrote poems like The Old Swimming Hole, which glorified the fast-fading innocence of the 19th century and comforted those who had already missed it. But it wasn't just the subject matter of his poems that inspired the expression. It was the fact that Riley's writings made him rich, the wealthiest American author of his day. To live the life of Riley wasn't only to be barefoot and fancy-free, it was also to be as well-heeled as the man who wrote about such things. Ha. When I think of Life of Riley, I think of the song. Let's get some music on. Hold on here. I'll probably get a copyright thing on this video, but hopefully not a strike. Probably not. Maxwell Avenue. I don't think that's the right song. No, those are not. Okay, well. Spotify, you disappoint me. Ah, there it is. The Lightning Seeds. I did some internet radio at one time, so that was the Lightning Seeds with The Life of Riley. Name of the radio station was KILR Radio. That is the primary thing that all the KILR stuff was based off of. Gee, did we pass the airport? Like jamming out the music. I don't know. I'm seeing a... It's like the lacrosse stuff is not coming up here. Look at this! What happened to the airport? Alright, hold on. $24. Nope. We haven't passed it. It's up here somewhere. Why is this not working? I don't know. It should be working. We should be... Oh, there it goes. What in the world's with this thing? It was working at first, and then it's like disappearing and all this other stuff. Oh, maybe we should turn center back on. They were interrupting me.
13 Foxtrot, check position. We show you to be about 12 miles off the airway. Cessna 13 Foxtrot, radar service terminated. Squawk 1200. Suggest you contact Minneapolis Center on 120.6 for flight following service. Frequency change approved. Nippon 920, Minneapolis Center, squawk 5345, and ident, verify altitude.
Nippon.
Roger, Cessna 13 Foxtrot. Good day.
Well, crap, I wasn't paying attention. We'll just use multicom. Unicom, sorry. Alright. Well, maybe we'll hear the, hopefully the chatter. Hey, look, it's blue! Yay! We hear the WAV files that, that I recorded. This is a heavy book. See, that's the other thing about doing these flights on the different simulators. So I'm not always doing the same thing as far as talking about the same type of stuff. So, you know, you never know what to expect. Never know what to expect. We'll definitely try to have some fun, though. Oh, wait, 1200. Oh, for crying out loud. I don't have any chat files recorded from Minneapolis Center yet. Crosse, Wisconsin. We're about 18 miles from the airport. We should start to be getting range of the aircraft, the air traffic. I was trying to figure out where we were, so that's why I was Alright, so we're at a 2-1 thing here. And if I pull this up, if we take a look at 2-1, use the back course, we are right about here. Well, we got something over here. I think that might be the lighthouse that I put down there. I don't know if there's any lighthouses along the Mississippi River, but I put one over here just to add just a little bit of flavor to the airport. We'll start our descent.
La Crosse traffic. After Romeo 620 Echo after is turning base. La Crosse.
I see the runway. I'm going to turn that off. And we need to slow down some more. Turn that off. Stupid autopilot was putting our trim all the way, completely out of whack here. I think that's the airport. Actually, that may not be the airport right there in front of us. I think that might be an actual plane. I think this is the airport up here. Yeah, because the river actually does go around it.
Lancer 718 Romeo 7 miles south at 2000 land request field advisory.
Lancer 718 Romeo winds gusty 05 at 15 altimeter is 2991.
Sorry, not trying to show you that. I'm trying to show you this. Here's the real airport right here. So you can see the river goes around it here. There's some city stuff. I didn't put anything over there in this scenery. I'm like clicking all on the wrong stuff here. Oh, wait, the
La Crosse traffic.
Stuff is moving around.
Is taking the runway to the northwest. La Crosse.
It gets to be weird when the land does that. Huh, it says I'm too low. I thought I was too high.
Piper 633, Quebec 6 miles north at 2,500. Land request field advisory.
Piper 633, Quebec, winds gusty 05 at 15. Altimeter is 2991.
Traffic, Cessna 13 Foxtrot, turning final, landing runway 0.
0?
La Crosse traffic. Echo 79er is departing the area to the north. La Crosse.
La Crosse traffic. Faster Romeo 620 Echo after is turning final. La Crosse.
So that's the FSTraffic. You can see how it's playing at the same time as ProFlight 98.
La Crosse traffic. Faster Romeo 620
This is weird.
Echo
It's like
after
the end of the
is
runways here, but
La Crosse.
must be some strange whoa, 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 whoa. Bad pitch, bad pitch. Got a plane coming in there. There's a good glide slope right there.
714 Oscar, 5 miles north, at 1,000, landing. Request field advisory.
Citation 714, Oscar, winds gusty 05 at 15. Altimeter is 2991.
Whoa, let's see if can we turn here? Ah! Whoa, 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 whoa. There we go. Where are we? Clear the runway. Where is it? There it is.
Traffic, Cessna 13 Foxtrot, clear the active runway.
Unicom Bonanza 508 Foxtrot 6 miles south at 1,000, landing. Request field advisory.
Bonanza 508 Foxtrot, winds gusty 05 at 15. Altimeter is 2991.
La Crosse traffic. Yankee 55 is taking the runway to the northeast. La Crosse.
La Crosse traffic. My Quebec 8 is turning base. La Crosse.
There's a plane up there. I don't know what's going on here. Those things like floating up in the air. I didn't put that there. Weird stuff is going on with the terrain. I did put these other buildings in here, though. I put these. I put the house. I got the terminal and stuff over here. And I put the trees. Like I said, I just try to do a little something. There goes that guy. Let's watch him land. Oh, it's actually, I remember that my textures weren't showing right before. it flashed to something different,
Crosse
but
traffic. Echo
at least it's
79er
looking
is
right
taking the
now,
runway
though.
to the northwest. La Crosse.
Yeah, so there's something over there on the other side too that I put.
La Crosse traffic. Yankee 55 is departing by area to east. La Crosse.
Oh, does this mean my taxi sign is showing now?
620 Echo Oscar is clear of the runway. La Crosse.
I think it is. It wasn't showing red before.
La Crosse
I think you can
traffic.
actually read it.
Echo 79er is departing the area to the north. La Crosse.
La Crosse traffic. Faster Romeo 620 Echo Oscar is turning final. La Crosse.
Let's take a look. I want to see if this actually did. Because it was black the last time I was looking at it, so I didn't think the textures were working properly.
La Crosse traffic. Faster Romeo 620 Echo Oscar is turning base. La Crosse.
So I wasn't going to bother with taxi signs, but if it's working...
Unicom, Falcon 848 Golf, 8 miles north, but 2,500 landing. Request field advisory.
Looks like
Falcon 848 Golf,
it's in
wind
part shadow,
05
but
at 15. Altimeter is 29er.
it's kind of at an angle, but 1836. Cool, it worked. Yay. I love it when a plan comes together.
La Crosse traffic. My Quebec 8 is turning final. La Crosse.
La Crosse. I had to separate the La Crosse because if I didn't, I think it would have sounded like lacrose. So I wanted to make sure they were saying lacrosse.
Unicom Challenger 888 Golf 7 miles west, split 3,500. Land request field advisory.
Challenger 888 Golf, winds gusty 05 at 15. Altimeter is 29er.
Okay, I don't think there's any other planes over here. We'll move over here. All right.
La Crosse traffic. Yankee 55 is taking the runway to the
Unicom
east.
Challenger
La Crosse.
158 Whiskey 10 miles west.
La
5,000
Crosse traffic.
landing. Request
My
field
Quebec
advisory.
8 is turning base. La Crosse.
Challenger 158 Whiskey, winds gusty 05 at 15. Altimeter is 29er.
See if the rest of my sound files play. Some of those planes haven't landed yet. See, we got a little house we can go over there and kind of stay in. We'll, you know, I guess you can say it's like kind of like a little common house. You know, people can kind of go in there. Maybe they got snacks or something in there. Don't think that's at the actual airport, but see. But you can see I put a terminal building here. And then here I had put in separate buildings. Okay. And then I put like a house or, you know, something in this area. And then these are, or was it here? No, I have a hangar sitting right there, as a matter of fact. Maybe we should go over there. And then I've got these like storage things here. And I didn't put these in. I didn't worry about these. You know, I mean, like I said, I can spend time put all this in here,
Echo
but
79er is taking the runway to the northwest. La Crosse.
but pretty much it's kind of the same.
La Crosse traffic. Faster Romeo 620 Echo after is turning base. La Crosse.
Landing. Request field advisory.
There.
Cherokee 188 Golf winds gusty.
We're gonna move it over to the
Altimeter is 2991.
the hangar. I put a hangar here. We might as well use it.
La Crosse traffic. Yankee 55 is departing via east. La Crosse.
I
La
wish
Crosse traffic. Faster Romeo 620
I wish this
Echo
would
after is
put in
clear
more
of runway.
variety of
La
aircraft.
Crosse.
I thought I had enough variety, but
La Crosse traffic. Echo 79er is departing the area to the north. La Crosse.
La Crosse traffic. Faster Romeo 620 Echo after is turning final.
Unicom
La Crosse.
Aztec 816 Delta 10 miles east at 4,500 landing. Request field advisory.
Aztec 816 Delta winds gusty 05 at 15. Altimeter is 2991.
there's one particular pilot that hasn't landed yet. I can't remember which one it was. That's the house. Huh. I guess maybe I didn't put the hangar over here. I thought I did. That's okay. We'll park over here.
La Crosse traffic. My Quebec 8 is turning final. La Crosse.
Charlie 8 miles south at 1000 land. Request field advisory.
Cessna 352 Charlie winds gusty 05 at 15. Altimeter is 2991.
Well, that was our flight from Dubuque to La Crosse. Now we just had some fun on this one with some music. I don't these videos aren't monetized, so you know, if publishers of, you know, Lightning Seeds want to make money off of that, that's fine. I do this for fun, so. Come on, where's that one pilot? He hasn't landed yet. I think should be landing here soon. It's like, wait for it. Wait for it. The clouds are changing a little bit.
La Crosse traffic. My Quebec 8 is turning base. La Crosse.
Unless they're all crowded up on the runway. Am I in the way? I wonder if I'm in the way of that plane, because he's kind of parked in the middle of... I don't think I normally parked him there. Here, let's move.
La Crosse traffic. My Quebec 8 is clear of the runway. I love Wisconsin. La Crosse.
That was the one I was waiting for. I think all the other ones played. But he loves Wisconsin. Okay, is that other plane moving? He is inching a little. I must be in his way. Really? Well, you can't get around me? Alright, fine, I'll park over here. Like, be that way.
La Crosse traffic. Faster Romeo 620 Echo after is turning final. La Crosse.
Dude, seriously, man? Hey, let's park on the side. That's what we'll do.
La Crosse traffic. Faster Romeo 620 Echo after is turning base. La Crosse.
In case you're wondering why it's repeating, it's repeating the flight like every 6 minutes. I can adjust that, and I probably will adjust it so we can have it a little bit more spaced out.
Unicom Bonanza 3-3 uniform 8 miles south at 3,500 landing. Request field advisory.
Bonanza 3-3 uniform winds gusty
La
05
Crosse
at
traffic.
15. Altimeter
Faster
is
Romeo
29er,
620 Echo after is clear of the runway. La Crosse.
There he is.
La Crosse traffic. Echo 79er is taking the runway to the northwest. La Crosse.
That's him too. He's the one, because I set that to record that voice or play that voice right before he gets on the runway. So that's him. Mr. Echo 79er. Mr. Impatient because I'm in your way. Alright, well, we're not in anyone's way back here, because I didn't put any traffic back here. Anyway. Alright, well, we're here. La Crosse, Wisconsin. Yeah, fun. Hope you didn't get bored or anything with all the moving around and stuff. But, well, I appreciate you watching this video and hanging out with me and enjoying Flight Simulator 98 along with me. This has been one of my not the only one, but one of my favorite flight simulators, growing up through the years. And it's great to get back to it. It's great.
La Crosse traffic. My Quebec 8 is turning final. La Crosse.
Okay. I'm done listening to you guys. It's just great being able to expand and enhance this in the way that I didn't when I was first playing it. So it's fun. It's fun. All right. Well, thanks for joining me, and I hope you'll check out this same flight and the other flight simulators, most notably X-Plane, because in those I do a little bit more extra stuff. After the flight, I do like a little documentary of us checking out the airport, like the real airport, and going into town and stuff like that. So really give you a feel of kind of like if we were to actually be there. So I love those, and I saved that one for last with all the different flight simulators. But anyway, hope to see you again on another flight, and take care. Be safe out there in the skies. And I love Wisconsin. Cheese. It's all about the cheese. Don't forget that we're doing this same flight in the other simulators, so check those out if you'd like to make some comparisons or just relive some of those old fun memories of the past. Be sure to subscribe to be notified of future flight simulator content, and thanks very much for watching.